Butters, you said you're on your computer all the time.
Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
You and me both, Butters. That's right. Today we're playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, a game that I didn't know existed until I saw my friends who are my age and above asking about it on Facebook and wasn't really sure what it was, and then realized in the comments that it is on Apple Arcade, which I already have, and I figured, why not? I could use a cute new distraction. Pretty cute so far. It kind of reminds me of like Sanrio Animal Crossing pretty much, which is weird considering Animal Crossing has had Sanrio tie-ins before, so it's a little weird that they just totally ripped it off for this mobile game. So far it's also super quest heavy, and there are some like puzzle levels, and I mean that's really just what I have so far. It's just kind of like get the thing to do the thing to get the thing. Like if you have an iPad baby, this might be a good introductory first game if they're more used to touch screens than controllers. I realized after I got through the title screen and there was like the next scene that happens, like the very beginning, I didn't have the sound on, so there will just be sudden sound that kicks on, so just warning for headphone users, that's going to happen in like 10 seconds. This point is when it really hit home that it's very Animal Crossing like, and I was gonna make a dog to make Mercy, and then I just saw this fat chonker. So at one point I just turned the phone around to show Chris, like, look, so you see you got a bird, you got a cat, you got a dog, and I was trying to like recreate what the chonky dog surprise looked like whenever I turned it around. So I'm gonna skip forward from that part. And like, obviously, if you've seen my videos before, if you haven't, go watch, but I have a lab healer named Mercy. She's half lab, half blue healer. So I was trying to make her in this game. And so the reason that this makes me think of Animal Crossing right away, normally every Animal Crossing game begins with you being on a train or a boat or a plane, and you're traveling to a new place, and it's character creation time. It's let me figure out what your name is, what your personality is, all that stuff. So this was me just trying to make a version of Mercy in the game. She's solid black with just a white stripe, but they didn't have that pattern, so I just went with solid black. Looked at her ears. She has floppy ears unless they're up, but they're usually floppy when she's relaxed. And I was like, well, I don't want her to just be naked, but like, she doesn't wear clothes, but I guess Hello Kitty characters wear clothes, so she none of these really seemed to fit her, and I just ended up going with a t-shirt in the end. I hate the controls in this game. I don't know if it's because I have a small phone or what, but it's so hard to actually control the character because it's like the little cursor area keeps moving, and I don't know if there was lag on the game or what, but it did not want to respond, and I just kept falling into water several times. I kept trying to figure out how to talk to him, and it didn't tell me like tap on their name to do that, so it was frustrating, but we get used to it eventually. This is also just a cute introduction to different Sanrio characters, especially ones that you might not be as familiar with. Like, I feel like everyone knows about Hello Kitty. I knew some from, again, the Animal Crossing tie-in, but if there are ones that they weren't on the Animal Crossing game, or I haven't seen them at Box Lunch or Hot Topic, I'm not necessarily going to know who they are or like what they do. This little guy is one of them. I'm not as familiar with him. I think the one back there, the little cat or rabbit or whatever, is Kuromi. Because the only reason I know about her is because I like my Melody. She's the pink bunny up front with Hello Kitty, and she is my favorite of them. I like her. She's cute. I also like the twin stars just because I'm a Gemini. But there were other characters that I just am not as familiar with, so. Kuropi or Kuropi. I don't know how you say his name, but my friend Miranda really likes him. So I remember whenever he was on the Animal Crossing game, she was excited to get his items. Choco Cat is one that I didn't know. The Tuxedo Sam I also wasn't as familiar with, but Choco Cat's really cute. His thing, we'll find out later, is that and I don't know if the personalities that they have in the game are what they have in their regular storylines, but his thing is he's like a little scientist, so he, collects gadgets and things. These two are weird, but they have a good time. For some reason, it didn't click for me that I needed to say why. I was just sitting here waiting for the punchline, why? And then I was like, oh, why? And then clicked it eventually. And I was just like, wow. Well, that was dog shit. So, and this one, I know Agritsuko from the Netflix show. She's like an office worker, and she's really into metal and stuff. So there she has a fun little anime cartoon. I remember someone made her on one of my sites at one point. But she's she looks really sweet and just a soft spoken office worker, but then she's actually really into metal and stuff. Heavy metal, the music. She's not into metallurgy. She's not a blacksmith. And this guy, I don't know if he's a penguin too. There's two different penguins or what. But I keep thinking he's a penguin. But he might just be some kind of bird. Well, he has flippers. I feel like he's a penguin. It was just cute looking at all the different little characters. And it's one of those games where you go around, you talk to everyone. You see what everyone's doing, you see what everyone needs. And this is another instance where I just was not paying attention, and so there's just seconds and seconds of dead time. So I do enjoy the game so far. If you have Apple Arcade already, I really recommend getting it. I wouldn't get Apple Arcade just for one game, which when I first got it, it was just for the Cooking Mama game and one other thing that was on there. I can't remember what, but gosh, I really did take forever to choose something here. I'm gonna go ahead and skip. So this is another one of those times that I had to just turn the phone around and show Chris because it was so ridiculous and so silly. I was just like, there's just cakes flying out of the front of the plane, and Hello Kitty is losing her kitty cat mind, and they're just flying out at us. So I'm gonna skip because it's just on this screen for a minute. Literally 20 seconds later, and then Choco Cat is like, all right, shit's getting weird, and then this happens, which again blew my mind. This guy is like, all right, he's had it with these cakes on this plane, Samuel Jackson, and then he just jumps out the fucking plane with balloons. We're jumping out of the plane with balloons. Everyone lines up to jump out of the plane. And we're just gonna land with some balloons. This is just morbid to me. This is it's just everyone's just jumping out because the cakes are flying. Like, why? Does that mean the plane is messed up too? Is it a plane powered by cakes? Like, Hello Kitty, I don't trust you. This is a cult. You've talked me into joining a cult. We're drinking Kool-Aid and we're jumping out of planes with balloons and we're eating cake. I just don't understand. And then this, I wasn't sure what the controls were asking me to do. Chris was like, oh, is this Fortnite? And I was trying to run, but then I didn't realize I didn't have my balloons open, so I was just falling. I was trying to, like, move over. Like, how often is this mechanic going to happen in the game that I had to learn to do it right there? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I had no idea this was going to be an action-packed jump out of the sky game. Like, what is this? And you can see every time the little circle moves, it's because I'm putting my thumb at a different place on the screen trying to figure out where to go. So, yeah. So now it's just kind of wander around and figure out what to do for the next 8 to 10 minutes. And I played longer, but I'm trying not to go longer than 20 minutes on these games as far as videos, just because it's a lot, and I'll probably end up trimming those times where I'm just running in circles. But this is a let's play type game. Like, this is a full-length game. It's not just like, I'm gonna make one cake, I'm gonna make another cake. Like, there's a full story, there's activities, there's challenges as you go along. So I'm just gonna let it play out from here. If I don't come in again until the end, thanks for watching, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope you download the game if you like it too. It's actually really cute. It is very Animal Crossing heavy though. It's Animal Crossing meets Survivor and like Zelda puzzles with like buttons and levers and crafting. I don't know. It's such a weird game to just be something I'm playing on my phone. this is one of those instances where it wasn't clicking for me that it's telling me I need flippers to get to that point, and I just kept jumping into the fucking water thinking, oh well, I just missed it, I can jump to it. And it's like, you can't just jump to it. You keep falling in the water because you need flippers to go there. And I just kept doing it over and over and over, like just an exercise in futility and insanity. So I just gave up and kept going back to getting strawberry crates. And I'm sorry for anyone who is good at using in-game maps. I am not. So, you know, right now it's telling me find my melody. Like, that's my goal for right now. But instead, I'm just exploring, and then when I see something, I'm like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Just like gathering shit up. But I'm like, well, I'll find my melody eventually. Like, she's got to be around here somewhere. Not realizing that it was showing her on the map when I was in the plaza. I just had to go up. You see what I mean about the lag, though? There's like, it takes it a second to load. And again, probably just my phone. But that just goes to show that it is a full-size game. Like, if your mobile game is lagging because your phone can't keep up with it, that's a heavy game. It has a lot going on. I skipped on through because that was just like 30 seconds of me looking through the collections and like, what do you call it? Like achievements and such. Once again, the controls let me down. I was trying to go and then it wasn't responding to me. Like, it'll switch around, but then he's just kind of stuttering along. He's not really going anywhere. So I had like 6 seconds to get everything. When, you know, do you see that lag? It was so bad. It was so stuttery. And I couldn't do anything. And so then it just ended. And I was like, well, there we go. And then for some reason, this time, nothing happened whenever I fell in until then. But it let me jump up there, and I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't let me pick him up. Why it wouldn't let me talk to him. I find out later in the game. So if you want to find out why, come back to the next video. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you follow what the quest is telling you to do, and again, just lag. All the lag in the world. Just stuck. For a while. I had to end up closing the game at this point because it was just stuck. But basically, if you follow what it wants you to do, you'll find out when it wants you to find out. So, like, this just completely froze up and then suddenly started working again. I had to, like, stop recording and then start recording. It was a mess. So I had to completely shut off the game, come back, and then it was like, it put me back in the plaza, and then that's whenever I realized my melody had been there the whole time. That I just had to go up the first road and came back to the plaza, and there really wasn't much else that happened after this. Basically, we find out that, not everyone who was on the plane is there in the plaza. And then it's like, okay, well, let's start doing things and getting the island ready. This was supposed to be like an amusement park, but none of the workers were there. It's very like Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. Like, I don't know, not Zombie Island, whatever the movie is, where they go to the island where Mr. Bean is the villain, and then it's like actually Scrappy's there, whatever. Spoiler alert to a 25-year-old Scooby movie, but yeah, that was that. And so that kind of sets you up for the rest of the game. This was a decent introduction. I'll come back eventually with the rest of it and finish this out. So we're gonna just let this play out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Let us bravely charge the fields of Azeroth, from which...
Hey, fellas! Boy, this is neato, huh?
Butters, what the hell are you doing?
I got World of Warcraft like you said.
You can't be the dwarf character, Butters. I'm the dwarf.
Well, there's only like 4 races to choose
So
from.
pick another one. I'm the dwarf, you stupid asshole. Log out, create a new character, and log back in.
I like Hello Kitty Island Adventure a lot more than this stuff.